No, I have just discussed. Some of you said that you have missed the lecture earlier one. So we just discussed about the first method, ball milling. Okay. So it's very simple. There are two wheels basically. They are rotating in the opposite way, just like your ghanti. Okay. And then you are creating the fine size particle with the coarse size particle. Okay. So already you have the particle in the bulk level. That means millimeter size or more than that, and then with the help of that ball milling you are grinding and converting into the smaller size particle which comes into the nano range. But obviously that range you cannot claim that it is going to produce only in the nano. That may vary from micro to nano range, okay, by this ball milling method. So this was the summary of that method which I told you. So keep in mind from that method, it is not mandatory that you will get only the nanoparticles directly, but the particle size may vary. Okay, maybe from micro to nano size. Then comes the second methods. Okay, so let me start then now the regular content. So here is the second method which comes under the top-down approach. That is the method name is laser ablation. Let me highlight all such points. Here is the method. Okay, laser ablation is the second method under the top down approach. And you see this particular process, what is that? Okay, what does exactly mean? So here you see I have written down in this part. So it is, yeah, laser ablation is removal of material from the surface of an object by the laser source. So this object is nothing but the millimeter size object or more than that. Okay, so with that object you need to remove out the surface particles, okay, with the help of laser source. So that's why this particular technique, this removal technique, we are knowing as a laser ablation part. Okay, so of course this particular process involves, these are the components, like here you see this process involves the removal of materials with the help of incident laser light. So basically you required a laser source. So here are the things you required particularly for this process. So pulse UV laser, now you people may be familiar with this laser word. Okay, so there are variety of laser systems we have. So in your syllabus only we discuss ruby and helium neon, but apart from that also there are so many systems are available. So but here in this particular case laser ablation, okay, it is UV laser, fine, and that too it is pulsed UV laser. So I hope now this pulsed and continuous also, these words are clear to you people. Pulsed means you are getting a laser signal in form of pulse, not a continuous signal, and continuous means you are getting a continuous output of the laser beam. Let me check it out. Someone is also having a doubt. Yes. So, do particle breaks by high intensity of laser? Yes, it may break it out. So that is why you have to select this pulse laser only, because if you don't want to break your particles with the help with this high intensity of laser light, then you have to use pulse laser light, because their signal or the output you are getting in the form of pulse. So it is not a direct output or continuous output of laser beam. So it will not destroy your object. But again, you have to make it sure कि आप whatever the particles or the materials you are going to use, that can sustain that much amount of energy which is there corresponding to the laser source. So if your material is fragile, then you cannot go for this laser ablation technique. Otherwise तो वो काम करेगा ही नहीं. Okay, so that is one thing. So a lot of things we have to keep in mind while taking the methods. Okay, which kind of method can be applicable, and keep in mind that all the methods cannot be applicable to all the materials. Okay, so depending on the material's nature, depending on their energy capacity, how much energy they can withhold, so accordingly you have to select your methodology. So here in this case, you have to select a material that can sustain the energy from this pulse UV laser. Okay, so that kind of material you have to select, and of course these details you can find out from the literature survey, because so many people have reported. So you must be having some idea about which kind of materials one can go for this laser ablation process. Second component, if you see, it is the reflectors. Okay, so all such components again we'll discuss what is the role of each component in this process. But first I am listing down the components name. So pulsed UV laser, reflectors, substrate is also there. Substrate is basically a kind of material on which you are going to put your film or put your materials, okay, in form of nano. So that base part or base material we are knowing as a substrate. Okay, जिस पे आपको सारा इजीली आप कर सकते हो, रख सकते हो मटेरियल्स को. And then of course you require target material, which will be in the bulk format. And the last, you require the vacuum chamber. As I said, all such process you have to do in the inert atmosphere, so you require a vacuum chamber for the same. So that's why you see these are the important part of this particular laser ablation process. Now let me come down again for all such points one by one. Here it is. So you see the diagram. Okay, and in exam also, suppose if this method is coming, then you have to create the diagram. I will not say ki you create exactly look like this, but you create a some rough diagram and identify the components properly. Okay, specify the components properly. Like if you don't want to put or draw something like this, then you simply create the block diagram. Okay, boxes, etc. And but you place the proper component name, specify the components where exactly the things are. So you see here in this box type thing, I have written this as a pulse UV laser, and the example of pulse UV laser is this KRF excimer laser. So many of you may have heard about this excimer laser also. Okay, though it is not in there in syllabus for detailed study, but this laser, keep in mind, this laser is emitting the output in UV spectrum. Okay, so that's why sometimes people are saying as a UV laser, sometimes they are directly saying as a excimer laser also. And these are the materials we are going to use, KRF. Okay, so KRF laser also is known. But remember one thing, this KRF excimer laser is emitting the output in form of pulse. You see here, fine. So this pulse output, it is going to be emitted, and you see this particular thing. Yeah, these are the reflectors. Okay, which are reflecting the laser beam signal. It is very clear from the image also. And here you see at this part, ये holder है. This is the holder, so that you can rotate it. And with this holder, you see there is a target material. ये जो आपको box दिख रहा है. Let me clear it out. This one. Yeah. So this particular highlighted one, this is your target. Okay, target material. So suppose you have cobalt here in this case. So with this cobalt, you need to create the for this cobalt, you need to prepare the nanomaterials. So this target metal has to be set over here in this part. Okay, so this metal can be anything, whichever way you want, Ag, silver, or any other. So that you have to place it at this point. Okay, so we are using mainly metals because that can sustain that much amount of high energy coming out from this laser source. And then below that, we are keeping again, this is a stand. This is a stand part. Okay, and on the top of that, we are keeping a substrate. So this substrate we are keeping over here. You can see in the diagram also how it looks like. And on that substrate, we are taking the nanomaterials. We are noting down. We are taking down the nanomaterials on this. Okay, nanoparticles. So ये दिख ही रहे हैं आपको these particular things. Let me annotate again. So ये जो spot दिख रहे हैं आपको, that are representing your nano size particles basically. Okay, different arrangement के साथ में. So that's how you see this. Now important thing is this substrate part. Okay, so many times it is like your glass slide जो आपने कभी whenever you go for this blood checkup, okay, blood test or something, so there will be, you see a slide basically on which we are taking, you are giving your sample, blood sample. So substrate is almost kind of that material made of glass, so that you can easily take it out the materials which is sticking to this surface. Okay, so that is the purpose of using substrate, because you need to remove out the material from the surface, and that is why we are keeping the glass as a substrate, so that easily one can take it out the entire stuff. If you go for any other substrate material, then it may stick that particular substrate and you may not get the entire material which is converted into the nano. So that is why, keep in mind, substrate always we are preferring for the glass material. Okay, so glass slide, for example, you can consider at this moment, so then it will be very clear to you. And if you have noticed that in that whenever you provide the blood samples, okay, on the slide, and after certain time, after drying that you may get that film also. So that blood sample, that blood basically image will come out. Okay, that layer will come out, layer will remove it out from the glass substrate if you have noticed it sometime. Okay, so that is the sole purpose of using this substrate. And now coming to the important point of this reflector, can anyone point it out? What is the role of reflector? Anyone? Anyone who can? Is there anyone who can say what is the role of substrate? What is the role of reflector? Directionalize the laser. Okay. Can you people speak so that I can confirm it's a two-way channel? कोई बोल के बता सकता है? Anyone who can speak so that I can come to know कि yes, it's a two-way process. I'm audible now?
Sir, can it help increase the intensity of the light or like maintain it?
Yes, so basically with the help of reflectors, we can control the intensity of light, intensity of laser beam, control the energy of the laser light, right? How it can be? So I will give you a very simple example. Okay, so just imagine, see, keep in mind this all such stuff we are keeping inside a vacuum chamber. Okay, and the entire stuff is very costly. Fine. So suppose right now, if I am interested in creating the nanoparticles for the target material, let's say cobalt. Okay, so there may be some certain energy which I can apply to this metal cobalt. But what about if I change the target material? Of course, each material have different energy requirement. Okay, so suppose if I go for some different metal, let's say Ag or silver or something, or any other you can think of metal, right? So in that case, the energy requirement will be different. So should I consider different this setup, laser ablation techniques, different methods or different setups I required if I have different targets? Suppose this particular setup, if I keep it fixed for CO, okay, what about for AG? Should I need to consider or create a different setup again? आप क्या प्रेफर करोगे? ये एक सेटअप है मेरे पास. Yeah, that is not practical.
लेजर
Exactly,
लाइट
that
चेंज
is
करना
not.
है.
हाँ, yes. So एक ही सेटअप है आपके पास, so you cannot get multiple setups. One thing, so it is not a practical. Yeah. Second thing is laser light change करना है, but then again it may be very costly stuff because this UV laser is not very simple or very cheap. So changing the laser itself is a tedious task as well as costly also. So what we can do is with the help of these reflectors, we can control the energy of laser beam. Okay, and as per the requirement of the target material, we can provide the energy to that, and that is why we are using the reflectors. Okay, so जितना मुझे energy का requirement होगा, that much only I can strike, or that much only I can target, give to the target material. Fine. And that is the requirement, as someone said earlier also into the chat box, that if you provide high amount of energy to the metal, then it may also be possible that your metal itself can break into parts. Okay, so to avoid that, you need to arrange your reflectors in such a way that only a little amount of energy can be directed towards the target material, so that the surface particle of the target material can come out. So is this clear now? What is the purpose? Okay, otherwise if you give direct energy, direct laser beam signal to the target, then there are chances it can break it. The target material itself can break it into two or more than two parts. But our purpose over here is to remove the surface particle from the material. Okay, and that plum which you see right now, this word, so that surface particle which are coming out from the metal like this, okay, it creates this aura like this, that we are knowing as a plum, and that plum is going to be deposited over here in this, the particle के form में जो small size particles होंगे, that can be created on this substrate. Put it down on the substrate. So is this clear now, this particular thing? Or you can take, let me give you a very simple example again. You consider a case of a chalk, जो जिससे हम लोग बोर्ड पे लिखते हैं. यू कंसिडर ए केस ऑफ चॉक, एंड सपोज अगर आपको उसके सरफेस पार्टिकल्स निकालने हैं, ठीक है, तो मैं क्या करूंगा, उसका जो आउटर सरफेस है उसको अपने नेल से, नाखून से उसको अगर मैं स्क्रैच करूं, सो देयर सरफेस पार्टिकल विल कम आउट. बट मैं अगर उसको ज्यादा अगर मैंने फोर्स अप्लाई कर दिया सीधे, तो वो ब्रेक हो जाएगा दो पार्ट में. बट माई टारगेट इज नॉट टू ब्रेक, माई टारगेट इज टू रिमूव आउट द सरफेस एलिमेंट. सो उस चॉक को मैं नेल से अगर स्क्रैच करूं, so their surface element, surface particles will come out. Is that clear now, that idea? सेम थिंग वी आर डूइंग इंस्टेड ऑफ नेल्स, क्योंकि अभी मेटल है तो मैं उसको नेल से तो नहीं कर सकता, राइट, उतना तो स्ट्रांग नहीं है। तो फिर आपको क्या करना है, उतना एनर्जी वाला सोर्स आपको यूज करना है, सो दैट लेजर बीम इज गोइंग टू बी यूजफुल टू रिमूव आउट द सरफेस एलिमेंट, surface particles from the target material. Clear? So for this particular method, you can keep in mind that example of chalk and how you are going to remove out the surface particles from that chalk. Okay, so that process you can give analogy to this one. Fine. So let me go through that. The next one, I hope this simple idea is clear to you. All the components role is clear to you also. Now coming to the next, here is the process. Okay, so all the things which I have told to you just now, okay, so they have written down again in this part, so you can check it out. The first component, UV laser, so it is a source that helps in removing the particles from the target, so that is the purpose of this UV laser. Okay, reflectors, so they will help in reflecting the UV laser to the target. Okay, and with the help of that they can keep the source very small, यानी आपका जो particular सोर्स है केवल उसी के ऊपर टारगेट करें, ज्यादा बड़े सोर्स पे आपको करने की जरूरत नहीं है। टारगेट, सो इट बेसिकली द मटेरियल फ्रॉम विच यू हैव टू कन्वर्ट द नैनो पार्ट, ओके, जिसको डिपॉजिट करना है आपको। एंड सबस्ट्रेट, इट इज द मटेरियल ऑन विच we are depositing the nano materials. Okay, so that is that particular thing we are knowing as a substrate, and I told you that it is made of generally glass material. Then these are the few things you have to keep in mind for this process, so let me go through that one by one. Okay, so for rapid and complete ablation, okay, jaldi bhi karwana hai aur pura complete bhi karwana hai in a particular small volume, a high energy is required. Okay, so this high energy deposition depends on the selection of wavelength with a minimum absorption depth. So there are various properties one can find out, okay, like within corresponding to a wavelength how much amount of energy is going to be absorbed. So there is a curve which tells you that how much energy that can absorb corresponding to that wavelength. So you have to keep in mind that if you want to do rapid and complete process, okay, in a very small volume, then high energy, it depends on the selection of the wavelength. Okay, so you have to select a wavelength for which this absorption part is minimum. Okay, अदरवाइज क्या होगा, आपकी कई सारी एनर्जी उस वेवलेंथ के कारण से आपकी लॉस्ट हो जाएगी अगर वो एब्जॉर्ब कर ले रहा है। तो आपको क्या करना है, आपको एब्जॉर्ब नहीं करवाना है टारगेट के ऊपर, आपको एनर्जी यूज करके उसके सरफेस पार्टिकल्स को रिमूव करवाने हैं। ओके, सो यू हैव टू सिलेक्ट ए वेवलेंथ जो टारगेट मटेरियल के साथ कंपेटिबल हो, जो रिमूव करने में हेल्प करे, ना कि एब्जॉर्ब करने में हेल्प करे। क्लियर? सो दिस थिंग यू हैव टू कीप इन माइंड। सेकेंड, you see this pulse duration, pulse which is coming out from the laser source, so the pulse duration must be small to maximize peak power. अगर स्मॉल होगा तो ही आप उसको एफिशिएंटली प्रॉपरली यूज कर पाओगे। ओके, और कम से कम थर्मल कंडक्शन होगा। अगर पल्स टाइम लार्जर होगा तो क्या होगा, ज्यादा एनर्जी सप्लाई होगी टारगेट के ऊपर, एंड अगेन दिस थर्मल कंडक्शन विल बी मोर। तो आपको ये मिनिमम रखना है, इसको हाई नहीं करना है। ज्यादा एनर्जी होगी तो ज्यादा हीट प्रोड्यूस होगी, ज्यादा थर्मल एक्टिविटी होगी। सो अगर दैट्स व्हाई यू हैव टू कीप वेरी स्मॉल पल्स ड्यूरेशन, ताकि ये मिनिमाइज कर पाओ कंपेयर टू द सराउंडिंग वर्क मटेरियल। ओके, another one is the repetition rate. So this repetition rate also you have to keep it optimum. Repetition in the sense, after how much time interval the pulse is repeating again, pulse is coming again, so that time cannot be more than high, cannot be less, very less. So you have to decide at optimum that okay, after this much interval my second pulse should come or third pulse should come, something like that. Okay, for efficient. So basically this last process is based on the trial error. So based on that you can find out the optimum time difference between the pulse. If this is the time interval, then it can be perfectly used for this process. Okay, so you see, for more efficient ablation process.
सर
So I
फर्स्ट
hope
पॉइंट एक
all
बार
these
बता दो।
things. Which one?
फर्स्ट पॉइंट फिर से बता दो।
First मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ कि see, if you want to complete this process and rapidly, okay, then you have to target in a small volume. Okay, so whatever the target material you have, suppose वो जितना भी आपको दिख रहा था, you strike on a limited volume only. Okay, because we cannot control, we cannot cover the entire surface or entire volume of that particular metal, so you focus on the small volume, and from there onwards you can remove the surface particle from that. Okay, तो इसके outer surface से मुझे बाहर निकालने, so मैं क्या करूंगा, I required a high energy, particularly to this slot only, from where I need to remove out the surface metal. Okay, जैसे आपको diagram में मैं यहाँ से hint कर रहा हूँ. And that particular things depend on the type of wavelength which you select. So suppose if you select a wavelength for that particular wavelength, your metal absorb the energy. So when you incident, let's take it with this case. Suppose ये अपने wavelength उसमें या laser light आपने incident किया, and suppose that metal is absorbing this wavelength of the laser light, then you will not be able to take out the surface particle from that. So what you have to do is you have to select a laser source, okay, for which the absorption depth is very minimum, very less. That means कि वो absorb ना करे, लेकिन बिना absorb किए उसके जो surface particle है वो remove कर ले. Are you getting that? मेरा पर्पस है निकालना, मेरा पर्पस है उसको एब्जॉर्ब नहीं कराना है सिग्नल को, मुझे उस सिग्नल के थ्रू जो उसके सरफेस एलिमेंट्स है, सरफेस पार्टिकल्स है, दैट आई नीड टू ब्रिंग इट आउट. दैट्स व्हाट वी आर डूइंग. सो ये क्लियर हुआ अभी ऑल 3 पॉइंट्स?
Yes.
Okay, then come to the next. Here is the summary. Same thing I have written down over here, but let me go through it once little bit fast. So you see it is very extensively used, okay, for this preparation of nanoparticles and particularly films, as you say, because we are depositing the materials on a film, on a substrate. तो substrate पे होगा तो generally we are considering as a film. Okay, so for creating the films, we are going to prefer laser ablation method extensively. And as you said, all such things they have written. Laser beam is used as a primary source of ablation for generating cluster directly from a solid sample. So ये सब वही चीज है. Coming to this second one, yeah, this is also very important. The small dimension of the particle which we are getting after this process, okay, and the possibility to form thick films make this method quite an efficient tool. तो ये जो this dimensions they are talking about after this process, जो आपका substrate है suppose, and on the top of the substrate there are so many particles which are deposited, okay, here like this. So this is talking about that only. So it, with the help of that, suppose if you allow for a longer time, so that can create a thick film also. If you allow it for a limited time, it can create a thin film. But if you allow for a larger time, it can create a thick film also. So that's why with this one can control whether you want thin film or thick film. Okay, so that's why this particular method is very, very important, provided if you are interested in creating the films part. Okay, so is that clear now, this process? Now let me come to the next one. This is the third technique, again under the same top down approach. Okay, the method name is sputtering. Here it is, and it is also working on the same principle, almost similar principle जो laser ablation का था. The only difference is in the earlier method we have the laser source. Now instead of laser source we have to use some alternate arrangement. Okay, task मेरा वही है अभी भी. I need to remove out the surface particle, okay, from the target material, but instead of laser source we have to use some other kind of alternative arrangement. So let's see which kind of alternate arrangements we are going to use for this method. So you look at the method or the technique, basically what is that? So it is the technique to deposit thin nanofilm onto a substrate. It is also the same thing, same working principle, just like in the earlier case. Again I'm repeating, the only difference is the source, otherwise everything will be same. And you see they have written it down everywhere again. So same ही है, आप मैं पढ़ के बता देता हूँ. So in physics, sputtering is a phenomena in which microscopic particles of a solid material are ejected from its surface after the material is bombarded by energetic particles of a plasma gas. So now you see same process we have to apply. Okay, instead of laser source, now we are going to use a energetic particle source, maybe plasma or a particular gas. So this thing is only different, otherwise everything is same. Okay, so let me again come to this part. What are the materials required to perform this method for this technique? So you require the target material. Okay, and this target material we are keeping at the cathode point. So wherever the cathode terminal will be there we are keeping the target material. Substrate again the same. Okay, so that substrate part we are keeping at the place of anode. Keep in mind, okay, where this arrangement is very, very important. Again you will see vacuum chamber, this is required so that it cannot be oxidized. Okay, so vacuum chamber is required for all such three methods which we have discussed till now. And you see we require the inert and heavy gases. Okay, inert gas you have to use, and if you see heavy word, then one can go for argon rather than helium or neon. So this time we are preferring for argon because it is heavy compared to helium and neon, and that too inert also, and plus it is widely available. So that also one factor which we are keeping in mind. And at the last, high voltage is required so that we can ionize these inert gases. So these are the things you required for this technique. Okay, almost similar, eh? Only thing is source is different. In the earlier method, laser is source, and here this charge particles, okay, जो generate होंगे inert gases से, that will be the source for this thing. So let me come to the next part. Here it is. Okay, so here you see actual device. कुछ इस टाइप से होता है, कुछ इमेज I have taken from the internet only, and this is the sketch basically of this device. Fine. I mean, in the form of like structure. So you see all such components. Vacuum chamber they have highlighted. Okay, cathode you see where it is. Here they have considered this one. Okay, cathode where you are keeping the source material. As I said, source material or the target material both are same. So they are keeping at this point. ये आपका cathode shield जो आसपास provide किया, cathode connect किया. And this part basically ये जो है ये वाला ये this is your anode. On the top of that you are keeping the substrate. ओके ये एनोड के ऊपर यहाँ पे सबस्ट्रेट आपने रखा हुआ है ये रेड कलर पे जो है, एंड देन यू आर सप्लाइंग द हाई वोल्टेज. ये हाई वोल्टेज आपने फ्लो किया इस पूरे सिस्टम के अंदर, चेंबर के अंदर, एंड दिस इज द इनलेट थ्रू विच यू आर इंसर्टिंग द आर्गन गैस इनसाइड दिस चेंबर. ओके, सो ये सारी चीजें हैं जो मेन कंपोनेंट है इस पार्ट का. नाउ कमिंग टू द प्रोसेस हाउ दिस वर्क्स. So let me move it down. Yeah. So here is the process. First, step by step, you can take it out. So first step, target material and the substrate you have to place in the proper place in the vacuum chamber. जो दिख ही रहा है image में. Second, you need to allow the sputtering gas, that is the inert gas, argon. You have to allow that in the chamber. This is the second step. In the third step, you see, after inserting the gas, you need to allow high voltage. Okay, so that what happens because of this high voltage, as you have seen in the GM counter also, this high voltage is going to ionize the gas. So if you look at in the fourth step, after supplying the high voltage, so you see electrons are going to be released. Basically it will ionize the inert gas into two things: charge particles, electrons, and positively charged ions. Okay, is this clear? If you allow high voltage, then inert gases are going to be converted into two parts: electrons and the positive charge carriers. So that positively charged carriers, okay, or the ions, we are knowing as a plasma. Keep in mind this terminology you see. Okay, so collectively in physics, but don't confuse with the actual plasma. Okay, that plasma is different, that requires very high temperature or something, but sometimes to refer that positive charge cloud, positive charge ions, people are also referring with the plasma. Okay, so electrons are going to be released. I will clear it out. So you see electrons are going to be released, and thereby they are creating the positively charged ions, and that positively charged ions collectively I can clarify as a plasma. If you have doubt over here, then you can simply call it as a positively charged ions only. No need to consider as a plasma. So here you see in this last step, so this argon plus, this is the positive charge. Okay, so now this argon plus molecules, they are going to strike to the target materials. Okay, and sputters of the materials to be deposited. That means again, with the help of these positive charge clouds, they are going to strike with the target material, and they will try to take out the surface particles or the material surface elements from the target metal. Okay, and finally on the below part, you are keeping the substrate, so that materials which are coming out from the surface of the material or the particles, they are going to deposit it over there. Okay, so finally they prepared a thin film of the target material on the substrate. So I hope the flow is very very simple to understand. Okay, just keep in mind, again I am repeating, instead of laser source, this time we are using the positive charge cloud or positive charge ions, basically referred as plasma. So with the help of that, we are doing the same activity जो हमने laser के साथ किया था. So clear that now this process is also. Anything up to this point? If you have any doubt. भाई कुछ डाउट है तो आप बोल लो, बिकॉज इट बी डिफिकल्ट टू चेक मैसेज एवरी टाइम. ओके, फाइन. सो आई होप it is clear. It's very simple. And now coming to the other two processes. Okay, chemical vapor deposition, CVD, and there is also sol gel. So now keep in mind these two, CVD and the sol gel, comes under the bottom up approach. Okay, so let me go through this one by one. CVD part. Okay, so you see again, it is also a very simple, from the name itself it is very clear. Okay, you look at chemical, that means we have to use the material in form of chemical vapor. Okay, and that chemical vapor we need to deposit. So that method name is chemical vapor deposition. How it works? So you look at, so it is the formation of non-volatile solid film. Keep these words properly. Okay, non-volatile. Okay, that means whatever the things you are going to deposit on a film, it will be sticking to that. Okay, because many of the chemicals may be volatile also, vapors basically. So you have to keep in mind this particular method is basically the formation of non volatile. Okay, otherwise कई बार वेपर्स volatile होते हैं तो वो possible है कि skip हो जाए, but this will be important. Okay, so non volatile solid film on a substrate, okay, by the reaction of vapor phase chemicals. So basically with the help of chemical reactions you are going to deposit the film, fine, that require the constituents particle. Yani whatever the chemicals, whatever the materials you have, first you have to convert into the chemical vapor, and that chemical vapor you have to, I mean they have to react and deposit it on the surface of the substrate. So that's what this process is. So how to do that? The idea is very clear. What I need to do is, but how to do that is the main thing. So you see the reactant gases. Suppose there are, instead of one material, instead of one target material, you may have two or three different target materials. Okay, so then all such things you have to convert into the gases or vapor forms. So you see here I have written the reactant gases. अगर दो या दो से ज्यादा है तो, सिंगल हो तो एक ही गैस आप लिखो रिएक्टेंट गैस, और दो या दो से है तो रिएक्टेंट गैसेस. दे आर गोइंग टू इंट्रोड्यूस इन ए चेंबर. ओके, जहां पे इंटरेक्ट करना है, आपस में रिएक्ट करना है, एंड दे आर गोइंग टू डिकम्पोज and going to reacted at a heated surface to form the thin film. This last line may not be clear at this moment, but let me go through the diagram, then this will be clear to you. But keep in mind, whatever the material you have, you must have in the vapor format, and then all such gases you need to allow into the chamber. They are going to react with each other, and you require a temperature source or heated surface. Okay, so that it can deposit it on the thin film, deposit a thin film on the substrate. So let me come down to the next page. Here it is. Okay, so this is again I have taken this is the source. Okay, I mean the setup name I have taken from the internet. So this is the device structure you see right now, fine. And again you keep in mind, if it is coming into the exam, then don't need to prepare the diagram exactly look like this, because it may take a lot of time. But you can create a building block, okay, and then assign the component name, at least not all components, then primary components or the important components you can highlight over there in that image. So you see this vacuum chamber, entire stuff, as I said, you have to perform in the vacuum chamber part. And then you see the gas inlet. So here is the gas 1. Okay, here is the gas 2. Same way there may be one or two inlet also, so jahan se where you can put for gas 3, gas 4, something. So if you are interested only in one material, then you simply gas 1 is used, but other gas 2, gas 3 you can be used, okay, to see the mixture also. And of course these are the other parameters which we required so that this system will work properly. Okay, so we are not going into depth for each component, like what is the role of RF generator in inductor, because this is more on technical side of this device. Okay, and you see again they have used the word plasma. So again this refers to the same positive charge clouds. So that is the main thing you keep in mind whenever we see plasma in the case of nanomaterials. That means I am referring to the positive charge ions. And here you see the button to control the vacuum level. Okay, so all such things are the vacuum devices, okay, that can control the vacuum of inside this chamber. Here is the substrate. You see, substrate is the material on which you are depositing your film. And here you see this part is the substrate holder, fine. And substrate holder is also, you see there is a heater. Okay, heater is connected to the substrate holder, and on the top of that you are keeping the substrate also. So now let's understand what happens. Okay, so first let me go through the process and then we'll come to the again this part, but I hope it is very clear. These gases are allowed over here. Okay, they are reacting with each other, and whenever they will come in contact with this heater, okay, they will be depositing over here. Okay, so that is the simple logic we are going to use in this. Same thing they have written. There it is. Let me go through that one more time. So the precursor gases, whatever the gases you have in vapor form, you need to allow them into the chamber. Okay, the same thing precursor, that means same. I mean, specify भी किया. That means the materials which need to be deposited from the gaseous state during the process. So that particular thing we are knowing as a precursor. जो already आपके पास material है, that we are knowing as a precursor gas. They are going to delivered into the reactor, जो कि मैंने बोला, okay, at ambient temperature, and as they pass over the heated substrate जो रखा था आपने डायग्राम में था, they react to that substrate and decompose, forming a solid phase and are deposited on the substrate. So whenever these gases are coming in contact with the heated substrate, they will be decomposing and depositing on the substrate. And look at here this form, the last line. So this deposition forms ordered crystal grown from vapor. So basically you may have the regularity in your crystal which you are growing with this process. Okay, यानी कि irregularity या shape different होने के chances काफी कम है. So that is why people are preferring this method also for proper ordered crystal which you are going to be grown with this method. Okay, using the vapors. So I hope this process is clear. It is also very simple. Okay, I'm going to use this device setups. Okay, let me explain it to you one more time. This gas 1, gas 2, you can allow it. Okay, temperature is high inside it. They are going to react. All these gases are going to react with each other, and when it is going to we come in contact of this heater. Okay, so they will react it and decompose over here. यहाँ इस substrate के ऊपर they will be deposited. So that's what we are doing in this process.
सर इस प्रोसेस में प्लाज्मा कैसे बन रहा है?
किसमें?
प्लाज्मा तो यहाँ पे सर लिखा हुआ है ना सर, प्लाज्मा.
हाँ हाँ, प्लाज्मा मतलब वही वेपर फॉर्म में जो होगा आपको, राइट, हाई वोल्टेज हाई टेम्परेचर पे ही आपको लेना है. तो यहाँ पे जो आएगा ये सी, अगर हाई टेम्परेचर पे अगर आपका जो वेपर फॉर्म में अगर आयोनाइज होता है, ओके, जो क्लाउड होगा वो पॉजिटिव चार्ज का ही होगा.
सर आयनाइज किसे होगा? गैसेस तो रिएक्ट कर रही है तो फिर.
हाँ हाँ, वही मैं बोल रहा हूँ, लेकिन आप कैसे कंसिडर करो इसको, मैं आपको कैसे बताऊं. पॉजिटिव चार्ज इसको मत लो. बेसिकली दिस वर्ड प्लाज्मा इज गोइंग टू बी गेटिंग कंफ्यूज टू यू, राइट. ये प्लाज्मा से आपको कंफ्यूजन हो रहा है. सो यू कंसिडर सिंपली एज ए मिक्सचर ऑफ दिस गैसेस. Okay, forget about this plasma because I think this plasma word is getting confused over here. Because of that you are not able to understand. Okay, but in general I referred कि ये जो plasma जब भी आपको दिखता है, usually we are referring to the quantity जो charge cloud आपका generate होता है, that we are referring as a plasma. Okay, तो यहाँ पे I suggest instead of plasma you simply used as a mixture of these gases which are going to react with this heater. So now that will be okay. That will be more precise, that means. Okay, क्योंकि ये प्लाज्मा से हो सकता है आपको कंफ्यूजन हो रहा है, that's why. Okay, फाइन, प्रोसेस डिस्कस कर लिया. And these are the various types of CVD process one can find out. Okay, different atmospheric है, metal organic है, plasma enhanced है, low pressure है, and all such. So I just describe the basic version, but depending on the requirement, as I said, one can go for different arrangement. So that is not covered in the part. इतना डेप्थ में नहीं है आपको अलग अलग, so no need to worry, but general types you must know क्या क्या possible हो सकता है. Advantages you see, because this is very important, as I said, uniform thickness. I already told you that you get a ordered layer structure basically, yani uniform thickness you may get, and even you can go for the 3D material also. Flexibility है, you can use any number of chemical precursors. एक गैस यूज करना है, 2 3 4 whatever be the number, so that gives you the flexibility. Require low deposition temperature compared to other methods. Okay, the temperature may be limited because it depends on the precursor gases. Fine. Fourth one, you can control the crystal structure. As I said, you can get 1D material also, you can get 2D also, and if you want you can get 3D material also. So you are having that ability to control the crystal structure. Fine. This one, deposition rate can also be adjusted. So this also you can adjust it based on the trial error. Okay, so after certain time, when you do multiple trials, you will come to know ki, yes, in which time 1D structure may be created or 2D may be created. So the time or the rate you can decide, you can adjust it. Okay, and the last is again many variations of, if you want to see between the guesses, then one can also go for this. Suppose they want to check it out, like suppose 60% is one precursor guess, 40% is something different, or 50-50 or 30-40, or what with the ratio if you want. So one can always go for such kind of variations to find out more such details with that. So ये flexibility है इन सारी चीजों में, so that I consider as advantage. Now you come to the disadvantage also, because each thing has certain advantage as well as disadvantage also. So look at here in this case. So safety and health hazards will be there, because sometimes these gases, chemical vapors may be toxic also. Okay, it may be corrosive, it may be flammable also. So that is why one has to be very careful while dealing with this. Okay, otherwise if something is coming out from the chamber, then it may be very difficult for the person who is operating this device. Yeah. And another thing is, you see, it requires various trial error things, okay, numerous tests, so that you can determine and reach to the suitable parameters, which is important for the growth of the crystal. Okay, so that's why these two things one can consider as a disadvantage for this method. Otherwise, it's a very, very good method compared to other one. Then the last method we have to cover it, that is sol gel. Okay, so again, I hope now you people are familiar with this method. You may have gone through several times. आपने किया भी है. And if not, then also let me tell you that you are aware with the sol and gel word. Okay, so let me first target to this sol and gel. So sol, you see, it is the stable colloid, okay, dispersion of small particles in a solvent. So I hope these definitions you are clear with. Sol किसको कहेंगे, gel किसको कहेंगे. But again, I have listed down. And gel is, it is a state of both liquid and solid phase, which is dispersed in each other. मतलब combine जो है दोनों का state, solid का और liquid का जो mix state है, that we are knowing as a gel, and sol is also there. So these are the things you see. So मुझे क्या करना है? Again, I have listed down, you see, again. So this sol gel process involves the evolution of inorganic networks, okay, through the formation of colloidal suspension, यानी sol and gel. So basically sol and gel के through ही आपको पूरा process complete कराना है. And precursors, यानी जो बेस मटेरियल्स होगा, जो टारगेट मटेरियल होगा, इट मे बी ऑफ मेटल और मेटोलाइड एलिमेंट्स आल्सो. Okay, so these are the things you have to consider as a precursor or base material, whatever, or target material also you can say that. So it's very simple. Sol gel अगर आपको clear है, then this process is very clear to you. Here is the main thing जो आपको ध्यान में रखनी है. Okay, so here is the diagram. Let me go through it completely. We have still 4 minutes, so I think we can cover it up. So look at here. So this is the precursor, fine. That means the primary component or the bulk material, basically you say, which is in the millimeter range or something. Then you have to dissolve it, जो दिख रहा है यहाँ पे, in some liquid. Okay, that liquid may be distilled water also, deionized water also, alcohol also. So depending on the material, okay, कि वो dissolve होता है कि नहीं होता है. Accordingly, one can choose the liquid. And in your paper, I think you people may have noted that somewhere it is deionized or simply water also, or distilled water also, or maybe alcohol, acetone, whatever. So that liquid you have to decide as per the material. Main thing is it has to dissolve. So like that you have to select the liquid. It creates the sol जो आपको दिख रहा है यहाँ पर. Now with that, there are multiple approach one can follow. As I said, there are variety of techniques one can go for in the sol gel method. So here you see, if you dehydrate, okay, you will get a gel. Is that clear? Sol hai, if you dehydrate, you will get the gel format like this. And if you do the rapid drying, एक और process अगर मैं कर दूं, तो I will get a structure which I am representing as a aerogel. अगर मैं जेल को भी rapid dry कर दूं, तो जो structure मुझे मिलेगा, that I am classifying as a aerogel. I have given a name like this. Or if I do another thing, अगर मैं इसको क्या करूं, सर्फेक्टेंट के साथ कोई ऑर्गेनिक सर्फेक्टेंट है, उसके साथ में अगर इसको सस्पेंड कर दूं, सस्पेंशन कर दूं, सो आई विल क्रिएट ए स्ट्रक्चर लाइक दिस जेरोजेल. यानी इससे थोड़ा डिफरेंट, एरोजेल से थोड़ा डिफरेंट जो स्ट्रक्चर मिलेगा वाया दिस प्रोसेस, दैट आई कैन रिप्रेजेंट एज जेरोजेल. So these are the naming, nothing else. Okay, so don't need to worry, but the structure formation is different. Here you see it is in different format, and here is you see it is in different arrangement, alignment. And now if you do calcine, okay, that means kind of heating, so then you may get a dense ceramic material. अगर मैं इसको properly grind करके heat करके कर दूं, heating कर दूं, so I will get the ceramic material. So this is one process which you have seen right now till this moment. Okay, so ceramic, if I see dense ceramic, that means it is the case of 3D material. All XYZ components will be there. 3D case, 3D material I'm going to prepare following this route. Let me change the color. So if I follow from this to this route, okay, that means I am creating the dense ceramic materials up to here. और ये थोड़ा सा और डाइवर्ट है, मैं इसको यहाँ से ये कर देता हूँ. This will be good. Okay, मैं इसको क्लीन ही कर देता हूँ. आई होप ये क्लियर है, राइट? ये वाला रूट फॉलो करूँ तो आई विल गेट दिस वन. नाउ कमिंग टू द सेकेंड रूट. ओके, अगर मैंने ये प्रिकर्सर है डिसॉल्व किया, सोल भी बनाया. नाउ दिस सोल इटसेल्फ रादर देन गोइंग टू दिस साइड, ओके, अगर मैं इधर नहीं जाता हूँ, इफ आई फॉलो दिस पार्ट, ओके, उसको स्पिनिंग करूं, उसको रोटेट करवाऊं इस पूरे सोल को, ओके, और उसको पूरा एक सबस्ट्रेट के ऊपर ले डाउन कर दूं, जो यहाँ पे आपको दिख रहा है, डिप कर दिया देखो पूरे सबस्ट्रेट को स्पिनिंग करके इस टाइप से. एंड देन इफ आई कैल्साइन इट, यानी हीटिंग करूं उसका, उसके बाद सो आई मे गेट ए यूनिफॉर्म थिन फिल्म ऑल्सो इस टाइप का. सो दिस इज ऑल्सो वन वे, यानी ये वाला रूट मैंने फॉलो किया. ठीक है, कलर चेंज ही कर देता हूं मैं, देन यू मे सी दैट. तो मैंने ये वाला रूट फॉलो किया, तो मुझे थिन फिल्म भी मिल जाएगा. एंड इफ आई गो फॉर अनदर रूट, सपोज ये वाला भी नहीं जाके, इफ आई कैंसिल इट आउट और मैं ये वाला रूट फॉलो करता हूँ, दिस वन. सो देखो इसमें क्या हुआ, लेट मी कम टू दैट अगेन. या सो मैंने क्या किया, सोल के बाद उसको डायरेक्टली ऐसे स्प्रेड कर लिया बिना किसी सबस्ट्रेट पे, ओके, इस टाइप से ड्राई किया उसको अपने आप. एंड देन इफ आई कैल्साइन इट, यहाँ पे जो दिख रहा है, सो एंड उसको ग्राइंड करूँ उसके बाद, तो आई विल गेट ए पाउडर फॉर्म. Right, so with this one single method I can generate 1D material, 2D material, 3D material also, or even if 0D material, that means powder format also one can prepare. So that is why this method is widely accepted, and that is the reason at many of the paper you may have seen this sol gel method rather than any other. Okay, so that gives you the freedom, whichever way you want you can go through that, you can divert the process, but starting moment will be same up to here this point. But later on, depending on the process, you may get different output from the drain. Fine. So then process, I will not go then, you are now already aware. Okay, so same thing जो मैंने आपको बोला था, same ही चीज लिखी है यहाँ पे. Now advantages you see, so there are large advantages, and that is why we are considering this. Okay, so all such things I have written. Let me highlight just 1 or 2 minutes, then this will be over. So you see metallic substrate और वो properly है, you can easily remove it out. Then you see produce thick coating also, right? Easily shape your materials properly. High purity products you can get it down. Okay, low temperature requirement for this, usually this is enough up to this point. And you see all such things listed down over here. Simple, economic, effective. ओके, कंट्रोल लेवल, डेंस पाउडर भी मिल सकता है, थिन फिल्म भी मिल सकती है, स्ट्रक्चर भी मिल सकता है, फाइबर भी मिल सकता है. सो दैट इज व्हाई दिस हैज ए variety of advantages one can consider. Then so now here is the last point which I want to discuss with you people in this. Okay, if you see, look at top down and bottom up, if you compare between these two, okay, so here is the point I have listed down over here. Since we have limited time, so I will directly come to the output, otherwise I will ask from your side. Anyway, so you see, begin with a pattern on a larger scale, then reduce to the nano scale. This is the top down. You see the important points, by nature they are not cheap and quick to manufacture, यानी ये दोनों चीजें possible नहीं है. Second, it is slow and not suitable for large scale. Okay, large scale में it's very difficult, क्योंकि बड़े से छोटे में करना it take lot of time properly. But bottom up you see, it starts with the atoms or molecules, and then you have to come to the nanostructures level. Okay, so that is the main approach we are following in this. and this fabrication part is much less expensive compared to the top down. So that is why we are preferring generally bottom up approach. Okay, so it is not like you cannot go for top down, you can go for that, but generally looking to this criteria, one can prefer to this bottom up approach. Okay, and I think we have covered it everything. Just look at the last. Yeah, there is one info for you people so that you can realize that. So these are the images taken from the same or TEM. Okay, so now you see this particular thing. ये नैनो में मेजर किया है. Okay, ये भी नैनो में आपको बॉन्ड लेंथ दिख रहा होगा कितना कम है. एंड ये पर्टिकुलरली आप देखो किसका डीवीडी डिस्क है. If this DVD you can see through this TEM device or SEM device, then you see the this patches. Okay, single bit जो उस पे ना बिट के फॉर्म में ऑल such details. So 400 nanometer is the size. इतने सारे स्पॉट्स ट्रैक पिच उसके ऊपर है 700 और 400 नैनोमीटर के आसपास के different. So that's how, just to give you an idea how this nanostructure look likes if you go through with the same image. So fine, so that's it from this side. Okay, we have completed the